Hello children. So once again I'm here with a new video for you all, and in this video I've got the practice of maps actually according to the reduced syllabus what you have for the ICSE exams in this session, that is 2023. For the ICSE exam you will have to go through all these maps, and you will, once you follow all these things properly, I am 100% sure that you are going to get perfect in your map work at least. Okay, so this time, as you all know, according to the change in the pattern of exam, 10 marks still is there for the map work. Okay, in topo sheet, from 20 marks it has been reduced to 10, and 10 marks are going to be for the map work. And besides this, one more thing is there, that is 10 marks MCQ. This time MCQ has been added in the part 1 of the question paper. Okay, so let's continue with first of all the map work. Then we are going to discuss about the various chapter wise the MCQs we are going to discuss, and even the topo sheets again, right? So let's continue with this map work. First of all, when we start with this, there are different topics, okay? And regarding the population distribution, in the case of India, two type of questions generally come. One is naturally based on sparse population, and the other is dense population. Okay, but the questions come generally in this manner. Suppose mark an area with sparse population on the western side. Okay, in the western part of India, which portion has got sparse population? Now for that, you should check this portion, the western part of India. I hope you all are able to notice this, right? So this you have to mark as the a sparsely populated area in the western India. Same way, if it comes for northern India, you will mark this portion. Okay, it has got sparse population. And again, in the northeast it may come. So in the northeast, especially Arunachal and all the northeastern states especially, right, leaving Assam, all these states are having very less population distribution. Okay, so whenever the question comes regarding this, you have to follow according to this, right? Even in this part you can see Sikkim is there, which has got sparse population, but in south you won't get any such region, right? So this is all what you have to do. Now about the densely populated areas, there are 4 major regions which you have to mark as densely populated states. Number 1 is actually in south, whenever it comes, that is Kerala. Okay, you can see Malabar coast. And then number 2 is Maharashtra coming up, and then in the northern plains if it comes, you can mark as the Uttar Pradesh and Bihar region also you can mark as densely populated states. And one more area, that is West Bengal region. This is again a densely populated area. Okay, so all these states are densely populated. Clear? All these regions, if it comes to mark in the southern region or in the eastern part or in the western part, right, or in the northern part, so accordingly you have to mark the densely populated areas. Now after this, the next thing what you have to do is actually when you say the map regarding the rivers and water bodies, next is the map of rivers and water bodies. Now out of all the rivers, a few rivers have also been taken out now, so you all have to just practice a few rivers, okay, and a few water bodies also. A few things have been taken out from the water bodies also. So let's start with it. Rivers first of all. Okay, starting from the Indus river system. Indus you can see on this side, right? Let me show you with the help of this. Yes, this side you can see the Indus river system is there. Now starting with this, number 1, the main stream, that is Indus river. Okay, you can see how you have to mark the Indus river. Okay, please follow this very carefully. From this point where I am showing you, right, from here you will start, and Indus from the very beginning, and as it moves further, you can see here where I am marking. So this is how the Indus River moves, and it comes down and towards the Pakistan region. The entire part, rest of the entire part, it passes through the Pakistan area. Okay, and till end you have to mark Indus River. So this is number 1. Okay, so just a small part of it is passing through India. So one thing, children, you should be very careful of it. Whenever you have to mark Indus River, the arrow should be pointed in only that part whichever is actually you have marked as passing through India. So arrow, you can see here, the arrow is actually pointing here, the portion which is there in India. So this you should be very careful of in the case of Indus as well as in the case of Brahmaputra also. Brahmaputra I will tell you afterwards. Now regarding Indus, this is the river, till end you have to mark Indus River. Got it now? This is number 1. Number 2 is Jhelum. You can see here, it starts from here, right? It starts from this part, like this it's going, and along the border of India and Pakistan, it's going down like this, and it continues till the point where it is joining Indus River. Got it? Because Jhelum is a tributary. Okay, so tributaries have to be marked from their origin, right? You can see here from its origin till the point where it is joining Indus River. You are marking till here. Okay, so all the tributaries, you should be very careful. Tributaries have to be marked only till the point where they are joining the main stream. Beyond that, you don't have to mark the tributary. That will be the mainstream. Understood? So this is actually Jhelum River. Now come to the third river. Rest all rivers you don't have to mark within this river system. Okay. So the third river you have to mark here is the Satluj River. Satluj, again, it's starting from here. Right? Got it? Now from here, as it continues like this, it moves, and till the point again you can see where it is joining Indus River, till that point you have to mark Satluj. Okay, so this is river number 3. So this is all about the Indus River system. Now let's talk about Ganga River system. Ganga River system means all the rivers which are joining Ganga and Ganga itself. Okay, Ganga and its tributaries. So let's start with it. First of all, let's start with Ganga. Okay, you can see here 2 rivers are coming almost parallel, right? This is actually not the first one, the second one is Ganga. Okay, it's starting from here, right? As it starts from here, you will continue like this, and till the end you have to mark. Okay, till the end, the first distributary in this manner you have to mark, and till end where it is joining the Bay of Bengal. So Ganga River has to be marked till end. Keep this in mind very, very carefully, right? And the next river you have to mark is a major tributary of Ganga, and this is Yamuna, right? This is actually the first river which you can find here, very close to Ganga. This is Yamuna River, okay? And it will be marked till this point where it is joining Ganga. Till that point, just you have to mark Yamuna. Okay, I hope this is clear to you, because this is a tributary of Ganga. So tributaries only have to be marked where it joins the main stream. Okay, now the next river you have to mark is Chambal River. All these, Yamuna, Chambal, Betwa, all these are the right bank tributary of Ganga. Okay, right bank. So Yamuna we have seen. Next is Chambal. It's starting from this point, you can see here, right? And it is joining till this point where it is joining Yamuna River. Okay, actually Chambal and Betwa, both these are the tributaries of Yamuna, right? And Yamuna, ultimately it's a tributary of Ganga. So we just consider actually Chambal and Betwa also as tributaries of Ganga only. Okay, so Chambal till this point you have to mark where it is joining Yamuna. Again, Betwa, it is moving this way, and till where it is joining Yamuna River, that is the mainstream of it, till that point you have to mark Betwa. Okay, so these are the rivers you have to mark, which are actually the right bank tributary of Ganga. Now let's talk about the left bank tributaries, which all you have to mark. Number 1 is Kosi, right? Kosi river you have to mark on this side, left bank. Okay, coming from the Himalayan region, and you can see very clearly there's a 7 mark, almost it forms a 7. Okay, this is actually Kosi river, right? And besides this, one more you have to mark, that is Brahmaputra river. Brahmaputra river in itself, it's a river system, right? And it is also joining the Ganga river only. Okay, so it is starting from here, you can see. From the very beginning, Brahmaputra river is coming from here. From the very beginning, you have to mark this, and it is entering India, and in this way it is crossing through Assam region, and it joins, actually it comes down and towards south it goes through Bangladesh, and ultimately it gets divided into several distributaries, and there it joins Ganga also, and ultimately Ganga and Brahmaputra together form a delta, which is the largest delta of the world. That is Ganga Brahmaputra delta, which is also called by the name Sundarbans. Okay, so this is the portion where these two rivers, major rivers, meet. Okay, right? Now you can see Brahmaputra once again. I am showing you from here it starts, right? Okay, going towards the east, and as it goes towards the east till this point, again it enters in India, right? Okay, as it enters in India, this entire part is within India. Now one thing again I am repeating, which I have said in the case of Indus earlier, when you label it, right, whenever you will have to label Brahmaputra, you should be very, very careful that the arrow is marked within the portion of India from where the Brahmaputra is marked, right? Whatever portion of Brahmaputra is passing through India, within that you have to mark this arrow. Okay, Brahmaputra. So after that, after crossing Bangladesh, it joins Bay of Bengal. Clear? So this is about the Brahmaputra and Kosi river. Now the next river which we are getting here is Damodar river. You can see small river. This is actually passing through Chota Nagpur region. This is Damodar river. Got it? And you have to mark till this point where it is joining actually the Ganga river. Clear? So you don't have to mark till end, till Bay of Bengal. Just these rivers till here where it is joining the Ganga river. Okay? So this is Damodar. Now come down to the next one. Next is actually Mahanadi. This is Mahanadi river. Okay, this very close to Lake Chilka, it is joining the Bay of Bengal. Next is actually the eastern coast. On the eastern coast, the rivers which are joining the Bay of Bengal, you can see this is again Godavari river, right? The longest river in the peninsular India, and it is also called, due to this reason, it is also called by the name Dakshin Ganga. Now after this, the third river in the peninsular region is Krishna. This is Krishna river. Once again, one tributary you have to mark here, or the tributary of Krishna, and that is actually Tungabhadra. You can easily mark this, right? And you can very clearly see this one. It is joining from the south, right? And whenever, keep this again clearly in your mind, whenever it comes, only Tungabhadra to be marked, right? The question is not to mark Krishna but Tungabhadra. So you just have to start from this point and till the point where it is joining Krishna. Only till that point you have to mark Tungabhadra, not beyond that. Be very clear about it, because it is a tributary again, right? So this is done. Now come to the last river towards the eastern coast. Whichever rivers are flowing, this is the last one, that is the Kaveri river. Okay, this is Kaveri river. Till end you have to mark. So these are the rivers which are flowing towards the east, and they all form their own deltas, right? That's why these all are actually important. and towards the eastern coast you will find a broad area is covered by the fertile alluvial soil also. Now the other two rivers which are left here are the two rivers which are actually moving in just opposite direction of these all rivers, and you can say against the slope of the southern peninsular region. You will know one thing, the slope of the peninsular region of India is from west to east, right? And we all know that the water always follows the slope. Then you must be thinking that why this Narmada river and Tapi river, these two, Narmada and Tapti or Tapi both are the names. So why these two rivers are flowing in opposite directions? These two rivers are actually flowing through the rift valleys, okay? The two valleys which are already there, okay? These two rivers are not forming their own valleys, okay? Like the other normal rivers, these are not forming their own valleys, but they are just flowing through the valleys which were already present there. And this is the reason the Narmada and Tapti rivers are not forming any deltas at all. How they will form deltas? Once they form their own valleys, they get some sediments along with them, okay, and which they deposit at the end, forming the delta. But here, because these two rivers are not forming their valleys at all, so they are not having any sediments to be formed, actually to be deposited there in the form of delta. Okay, several other reasons are also there, but this is a major reason why Narmada and Tapi rivers are not forming their deltas. Okay, I hope this much is clear to you all children. So in total, you can see all these rivers you have to practice. Now, besides this, there are two lakes which you have to mark under the water bodies. Which two lakes are there? Jhelum you have seen earlier, right? From where it originates, very close to that, there is a small curved part, right? Just above that, there is a dot you can see, right? By blue dot it is marked. This is actually Wooler Lake. Okay, I am showing you here in the map, Wooler Lake. This is clear? So this is the first lake you have to mark. Number 2 is actually the Lake Chilka. Lake Chilka, very close to Mahanadi River. And this is the point. On the coast, you have to mark Lake Chilka, but you have to be very careful. Again, one thing I am telling you, whenever you mark the lake should not be marked out of the coastline towards the sea. Understood? Whenever you mark the blue dot, it should be inside the coastline. Have you understood why I am saying? Because just think of it, how a lake can be inside the sea or ocean. It's not possible. So that's why you have to show this lake within the, you can say the landmass of India. Right? That's why always whenever you are going to mark this side, you are going to get your marks cut. So you should be very careful regarding this. Okay? So this is number 2. Now let's talk about the two gulfs. Okay, this time you are just having the two gulfs. One is the Gulf of Kutch and the other is the Gulf of Khambat. Okay, you can see very clearly this is Gulf of Kutch. The upper one is Gulf of Kutch and the lower one, this is Gulf of Khambat. Just the two gulfs you have to mark. Now come to the other side, that is Andaman Sea. This is actually, these are the two island groups of India, right? Andaman group and Nicobar group of islands. So very close to Andaman group and in between the Andaman group of islands and the Myanmar region, right? You will have to mark. This part is actually the Andaman Sea. So this much you will mark. And this is all about the rivers and water bodies map. Clear? Now let's talk about the next one. Next is actually the plains and desert. Now out of all the plains which were there in your syllabus, just one coastal plain has been taken out. Rest all are there. Okay. Now which one has been taken out? You can see along the western coast. Can you see this? One coast has been part of it has been taken out in the reduced syllabus. So you just have to go through Konkan and the Malabar. You don't have to practice the Kanara coast, which was there in between. Okay, and let's start with it now. Number 1, Great Indian Desert. You can see desert area you have to mark like this. Okay, it's better to mark it by yellow color. That is always taken as the color to mark the desert area. Okay, so this is Great Indian Desert, or you can say Thar Desert, right? Number 1. Number 2 is Gangetic Plains. You can see here the entire region which is covered by the major tributaries, and till the end, very close to the West Bengal region, till here you have to mark this entire plain. Okay, this is actually Gangetic Plain, right? This is Gangetic Plain of India. Now come to the Western Coastal Plains. Western Coastal Plains, in the beginning only I was telling you about this. The first part of the Western Coastal Plain is the Konkan Coast. Okay, Konkan Coastal Plain, right? From the extreme north, okay, from the extreme north till a point which you will get by, suppose I'm giving you one hint how to get the mark till where Konkan coast will continue, where this Krishna and Tungabhadra rivers are meeting, right, confluence of it. From this point, if you draw a straight line towards the western coast, if you draw a straight line, you will be getting a point where this coastline is intersecting, right? This is a point till where you should mark the Konkan coast. Have you all understood now? Till this point you should mark Konkan coast, right? Now after this, till the point where the Malabar coast is starting, till this point it is Kanara coast. So Kanara coast you don't have to practice this time. Okay, now let's talk about Malabar coast. Malabar coast is actually, it's starting from this point. Now how to get this point? Again I am telling you one way. There are two rivers, right, very close to this point. This is Tungabhadra river going towards northeast, and one more river is there, it's Kaveri river. Got it? You just continue with these two rivers like this, and when you get the point where these two rivers are meeting, okay, this is a point on the coast from where you are starting with the Malabar coast. Okay, from here it will start and it will end till Kanyakumari. Clear? The tip of the mainland of India, right? The southern tip. So Malabar coast is starting from here and till this point it will continue. This is about the western coastal plains. Now come to the eastern coastal plains. Eastern coastal plains are starting from here, extreme northern part of the coastal plain, the eastern coastal plain, and from West Bengal it starts and it continues till, you can see here, till this point where the Godavari delta is there. Okay, this is actually the northern part of the eastern coastal plain, and this is known as the northern Sarkars, right? So this is one, and the southern part of it is actually starting from here until the southernmost tip of the mainland of India, again Kanyakumari, right? So this is actually the southern part of it, and it is called by the name Coromandel coast. So this is Coromandel coastal plain, and the northern part of it is called Northern Sarkars. Clear? This is all about the plains and deserts of India, right? Now let's talk about the next map of India, which you have to study now, and under this you have to study about the mountains and plateaus, right? And within this I have shown the two passes also, which you have to practice in this, right? Now the two passes which you have to practice are, number one is the Nathula pass. You can see here, right? In the Sikkim region you have to mark like this. Okay, the one type of bracket which you use generally in the maths, just ulta bracket आपको यहाँ पे use करना है. Okay, in the case of Karakoram pass here and in the case of Nathula pass. right? So in Sikkim region, you will mark like this, pointing towards the northeast. This is Nathula Pass, and in the extreme northern side, this is actually the Karakoram Pass, right? So these are the two passes. Then come down to the main plateaus. The two plateaus you have to mark. Number one is Chota Nagpur Plateau. This is the plateau you need to mark here. And in the earlier map, you have already practiced the Damodar River. Okay, if you remember. So Damodar River, actually you have to mark it in such a way that it is touching the two small streams, right? These two small streams like this, and this is Chota Nagpur Plateau, number one. Number two is actually the main plateau of India, peninsular plateau of India, that is called the Deccan Plateau, and it starts from very close to this Tapti River, right? And along the Western Ghats, you can see here, along the Western Ghats till this point where the Kaveri River has got this turn. Okay, this curve is there in this, till this point, just in the north of Kaveri, it is reaching, and again from the eastern side, it continues along the, almost parallel to the Eastern Ghats. Okay, till this point, right? So this is how you have to mark the Deccan Plateau of India, right? So these are the two plateaus. Now come to the mountains, the main mountains, the major mountain systems. Now when you talk about the mountains, number one is starting from the extreme northern side, the Karakoram range. Okay, in between the Indus River and the northern border of India, you will find there is almost parallel to the Indus River. In this part, you have to mark the Karakoram range. Okay, this is number one, right? Number two starts from where, you know, how to get the Himalayas. Himalayas are actually having several ranges, but you generally in this we show it just with the help of a single line. Okay, so you just mark this these Himalayas in this way, where these streams are having a curve. You can see these are turning this way, right? So from here you will start with it, and don't cut the streams. Please keep this in mind very carefully. Mountains will never intersect the streams, right? So in this way you have to mark in between the streams like this, and in this manner it will continue till northeast, till this point. Got it? So this is actually the Himalayas, right? In this way you have to mark the Himalayas. Okay, I hope this much is clear to you all, right? Now come down to Aravalis. Aravalis you have to mark like this, almost you can say somewhat parallel to the Chambal River, not exactly but somewhat parallel to the Chambal River. And from where to start? For this I am giving you again one hint in this way, from where to get this point to start with the Aravalis. When you draw a straight line like this, okay, and from this straight way, got it? So the point of intersection you are getting from here, you will start marking like this. There is a small curve in this manner. This is Aravalis. Okay, this is again one mountain you need to mark. Number 4 is actually the Vindhyas. Now for Chambal region and Betwa River, right? Chambal River and Betwa, these two rivers are going to touch this Vindhyas. That means the Vindhya mountains are actually in the north of Narmada. You have to mark in such a way that these two rivers are touching Vindhyas. That means these are originating from here. Okay, these are Vindhyas. Then in between Narmada and Tapti River, there is again one mountain which is Satpura. Okay, Satpura. Satpura is in between Narmada and Tapti, and please mark it very carefully. It should not intersect any of the river, right? So this is again one mountain. Now come down to the western coastal region, leaving some a narrow part very close to the coastline. You will have to leave some space, and then you will mark the Western Ghats. And while marking Western Ghats, you should be careful that Western Ghats are going to touch the tips of all these rivers, right? The tip of all these rivers are going to touch the Western Ghats. Okay, two important things are there regarding this. One thing, it is not going to touch the coast, right? Western Ghats are not going to touch the coast, and it is going to touch all the tip of all the rivers here, right? So this is the Western Ghat. Clear? Then again a small hill is marked here where the curve is there in the Kaveri river this way. You can see. Just below this a small hill you have to mark. This is actually Nilgiri Hills. Understood? This is Nilgiri Hills. Just a small one. And then what is left with us now? This is Easternghat. Okay. Easternghat's children you will mark like this. Okay. Starting from this curve of the Mahanadi river very close to this corner. Okay. You will start like this. Clear? This is one part and the second part like this till this curve. Just above this you have to end with this Easternghat. In between the Godavari and Krishna river, please don't mark it, because the reason why you need not have to mark in this is actually Eastern Ghats have been eroded to a great extent in this part. So it is just left in the form of a plain only, the coastal plain. Okay, so you just have to mark this part, number one, and this part. And after all these things, two important things again are left. These are the two peaks which you have to mark in the Indian map. Okay, very close to the Nathula Pass, you can see here, this is actually Mount Kanchenjunga. Clear? This is one peak you have to mark, Mount Kanchenjunga. Okay, and the other peak you have to mark is in between the Karakoram range and the Karakoram Pass. You can see here there is a curve in the border of India, right? Here you will mark the Godwin Austen. Clear? This is Mount K2. This is called Mount K2, Godwin Austen. So these are the two peaks you need to mark in this region, right? In total, the mountains, plateaus and two passes and the two peaks, all these you have marked in this map, right? So you have to practice all these. Now in the earlier map or the earlier syllabus which we had, in that Garo, Khasi, Jaintia hills were also there, but this time under the reduced syllabus it has been taken out. Okay, so that's all with this, children, and we are going to meet again in the next video, right? I will bring some other maps in the next video, and till that time I expect that you all are going to practice all these features properly, and again when you practice the map work you'll find yourself perfect in this. Okay, because the reason is in ICSE the same features are there which you need to practice again and again, and ultimately till the time you get the board exams you will be perfect in all this. Okay, so I expect you all to like this video, and if you find it useful, please share the link with your friends and classmates also, so that they can also get benefit of it. Okay, so see you soon in the next video. Till then, bye.